بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على النبي الأمي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Respected students, brothers, elders, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to share with you, students and brothers, a very interesting quote from the commentary of Sahih al-Bukhari by Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi al-Usmani Hafidhahullah, by the name of al-Albani, in which under the hadith of visiting the three masjids, he mentions a question. The question is that Albani, Nasiruddin al-Albani, the Imam of the Salafi sect, has called all those hadiths in which visiting the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been encouraged and made virtuous. He has called all such hadiths da'if, and he has weakened them all in an agenda to prove its impermissibility, to set out with the intention of visiting the blessed grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whereas the entire ummah's practice from early days, from the Salaf till today, has been going out and visiting Medina Munawwara with the intention of visiting Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saying salam there. They say that visiting the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is permissible, but setting out to say salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at his grave is impermissible. Whereas this is, in terms of nas, textually, and in terms of aql, logically, this is totally flawed. Because the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is only what it is and only holds the status it does because of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So how can it be that visiting the masjid of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is permissible, but setting out to visit that blessed being who graced the world with his presence and his masjid is only what it is? It only has this Riyadh, Rawdatum min Riyadh al-Jannah, this garden of paradise, because of his blessedness. How can it be that visiting him is impermissible? So under this question, Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani Hafidhahullah answered and cleared a few issues up regarding Nasiruddin al-Albani. First and foremost, we need to understand that Nasiruddin al-Albani is a very, very controversial figure. He has been refuted by leading scholars of this ummah, including Salafi scholars, due to his errors in hadith, due to his audacity, due to his opposing the ummah and the practice of ummah in major issues. Just on the 20 rak'at Taraweeh issue, which inshallah, if Allah gives tawfiq, then inshallah we'll have a lesson on this. A Salafi alim has refuted him with very, very harsh words and dissected and dismantled his arguments from a hadith perspective and practice of the ummah perspective. So one of these scholars is Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani Hafidhahullah, in which first and foremost he says, and this can be found in al-Albani volume 4, page 347, he says that Nasiruddin al-Albani is not an authority in grading hadith. We'll find many pulpits at the time of khutubat of Jumu'ah in which the Aimma will say, Rawahu, so and so hadith scholar has narrated this hadith, wa sahahahu al-Albani. In many areas of the Muslim world, this has become a trend. Whereas since when has al-Albani been unanimously accepted as someone to quote when grading hadiths? So Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani Hafidhullah says Nasiruddin al-Albani is not an authority in grading hadiths. He says, and this is a reality, that he graded many hadiths of Sahih Muslim, which is accepted by the ummah to have authentic chains of narration. He graded dozens of hadiths of Sahih Muslim as da'if. This audacity only someone like Nasiruddin al-Albani has had in the Ummah since day one. And then on many occasions he's graded hadiths as weak, only a few years later to go on to grading the same hadith as sahih and authentic. And this is not one example, dozens of examples can be given for this. So such a person, held by the Salafi sect as a mujaddid, as a reviver of the field of grading hadiths, as a reviver of this century, is a very, very sad reality to see that this Salafi sect is holding such a controversial figure, a figure who used a very, very disrespectful tone, according to Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani Hafidhahullah. He used a very, very, very disrespectful tone towards the Salaf. And this figure is the same figure who many youths coming out from bid'ah and shirk and going on to the Salafi bandwagon, within a few days of sitting with the Salafis, the only name you'll hear on their tongue is Shaykh Albani said this, and Shaykh Albani said that, and Shaykh Albani has quoted this hadith and he has, graded this hadith like this. They will quote, you'll hear them quote Shaykh Albani more than Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then we receive the accusations of being blind followers of the Hanafi school and Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi. If that's the case, then blind following Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayhi is a privilege for us, because we are blind. And Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah was on the manhaj of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Khulafa Rashidin. So blind following someone who is on the manhaj of Sahaba is fine, but blind following someone who weakened hadith and a few years later then forgot he weakened it and then authenticated it, this is only and only leading you to the wrong destination. So my appeal to all those youngsters out there who have been influenced by the Salafiyah and who have heard this name again and again and again, read into Nasiruddin al-Albani. There are many books written on him. Nasiruddin al-Albani, Unveiled, his contradictions, and many, alhamdulillah, have been translated also into English. Inshallah, in the comments of this video, we'll put a link towards some of these works. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the work of Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani Hafidhahullah. And mashallah, he is one of the leading scholars of this time. So this coming from him speaks volumes. He also says that many a time a hadith that would go in favor of Nasiruddin Albani's agenda, he would authenticate it. And a hadith that would not be in his favor, he would weaken it. Whereas this is not the way, and this is not the methodology of hadith scholars. They put everything into perspective. They do justice. They don't look at their own whims and what their agenda is, and then weaken and authenticate according to this. Their gradings are not based on their own desires. So, to conclude, Shaykh al-Islam Mufti Muhammad Taqi Usmani Hafidhahullah says that Nasiruddin Albani and his gradings hold no weight in the grand scheme of the field of hadith, and grading hadiths isn't an easy job. It is a very delicate and sensitive issue, and it is to be left to the experts. Wa akhiru dawana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.